you gonna say?
For now, although there seems to be a lot of public interest in the story, from a shareholder perspective,
What did he? Oh my God! What has Hoscord been up to? What the hell has he been up? What the hell has Hoscord been up to?
The world's population is compared to India. Yo, chill. Turkey's
MP. No! No! Oh no! Hasan does not understand how much of an insult that is. First off, if you guys are new here, if you guys have never watched my show before, I talk about South Asian news. I'm the Indian Hasanabi. I'm the Tamil Hasanabi. I'm talking about South Asian news. When can I watch the next stream? Next week. I stream on weekends only. Again, I stream on weekends. I would love to stream every day. Streaming doesn't pay the bills. Oh no, Turkey is like MP. Oh no. Like Turkey getting in his whole ass country being compared to Madhya fucking Pradesh. MP is literally non-existent. At least it isn't UP, right? Hasan is right. You should not pick a side between India and Pakistan. North India and okay, here's some inside baseball. Okay? Here's some inside baseball that you're not going to understand. If you're not from South India, if you're not from Tamil Nadu, you're not going to understand. To a Tamil person like me, North Indians and Pakistanis are the same people. They're literally the same. There is no difference to me as a Tamil person from South India between someone from someone from Uttar Pradesh and someone from Islamabad. There is no difference. We will literally call Pakistanis Vadakans. We will literally, like me and my friend in Salem, when we talk, we literally say, oh, Vadakans, Pakistani dane, Vadakan. We'll call Pakistanis Vadakans. Why? Because they're the same people. Literally the same people as North Indians to us. Literally the exact same. To us, Pakistanis and North Indians are the same people. We literally do not see a difference. Like if a Pakistani dude comes to Chennai, we'll be like, yeah, yaba, day, bro. Vadakan dane. Food way better though than South India? No. No. Pakistani food is not better than South Indian food. You're literally wrong about that. Pakistani food is better than North Indian food. Pakistani food is better than North Indian food, but neither are better than South Indian food. South Indian food is better. And I will die on that hill.
Countries.
South Indian food is better.
I mean, if you ask me who Kashmir belongs to now, that's a different story. Tell you what, doesn't belong to India, okay? That much I can be clear on. Certainly doesn't belong to the fucking side that's like, cutting off electricity, arresting and executing leaders.
Did they execute leaders in Kashmir? I know they extrajudicially kill people in Kashmir, but I didn't know they actually killed people. Yeah, no, they threw Mehbooba Mufti in jail. 10 out of 10, Arun. They threw Mehbooba Mufti in jail and they put what's his name? Omar Abdullah on house arrest. Yeah, he's wrong on that. They didn't execute any leaders. What the Indian Army did, yeah, they put the leaders under house arrest. He's wrong about that. He's wrong about that. But yes, the Indian government has killed people in Kashmir extrajudicially. Yes, that has happened, and they have. I literally covered this. They literally killed people. They killed innocent civilians and then buried them without the consent of the family.
BJP right now. I mean, that's easy. I do that. Modi's a fascist. There you go. And the worst Islamophobe. As an American-born confused Indian, fucking fuck Modi and his fascist government. Yeah, I mean he sucks. That's easy.
Okay, and that's like the end of like Hasan's knowledge about India. That's about it.
But please do not ask me what do I think about Imran Khan. I don't know. It seems like the I don't know. It seems like there are valid corruption charges against them, but who isn't corrupt? And also,
He's right. Wait, he's right. He's right, though. He's right. He's right. Imran Khan wasn't a great leader either. He's just not as bad as the current administration. He's like, Imran Khan basically ran afoul of the army. That's basically what got him, that's what got him thrown out. That's it. Chicken 65 is Indo-Chinese, though? No. That's a homegrown Chennai thing.
so simultaneously the military is against him, so that's a good thing, even though it's usually a bad thing for his electoral bona fides. But it does feel like Imran Khan is truly a popular leader. That
Imran Khan's base of support is largely in KPK. So Imran Khan never had any real support in places like Sindh province or Punjab province. He's not correct about that either. Imran Khan wasn't the most popular politician in Pakistan either. Imran Khan. Okay, so Imran Khan is just not as bad. Like, here's the thing that he probably knows to a little bit extent, but he doesn't know fully. But the other options are the Sharif family. Basically, what is the Sharif family? The Pakistani Muslim League, or the Bhutto family, which is the PPP. It's either one of those two options. Those are the other two options, as opposed to the PTI. The PTI's main base of support are basically not Punjab and not Sindh. That's where the PTI gets its support from, right? If you go to Sindh province, not necessarily Karachi city, but Sindh province, it's a PPP dominated land. It's you know, everyone loves Bhutto most people love Bhutto and that family in Sindh province. If you go to Punjab, most people are likely going to vote for Sharif family because his family's from there, right? So Imran Khan is not a super popular politician in the same way that a lot of people that are not that informed about Pakistan, like Imran Khan is not like the Bernie Sanders of Pakistan in that sense. He's not like this populist politician in Pakistan to the same degree.
could, for the first time ever, perhaps overcome the need for the military to back you.
He's right. That's
But
my
for
take as well.
that reason, they're currently like trying to arrest his allies and supporters that I think they're like housed up in a house right now. I don't know.
So he's right in that, yes, they're trying to kidnap people that are associated with Imran Khan. He's right about that. But that is a standard tactic that has also been used towards the Baloch people. Like he's right about that, but we just talked about the Baloch people that have been disappeared by the Pakistani state. The Pakistani state disappears anyone that they think is a threat to the establishment. And because there is an insurgency, a lively insurgency in Balochistan, like they're kidnapping Balochis. They're kidnapping Baloches, and they just recently kidnapped a Pashtun guy. They just captured Manzoor Pashtun because he was a Pashtun rights activist. So he's right, but there's a broader scope that the ISI has used to lock up their political opponents. It's not just limited to the political. It's not just PTI cadres that the ISI has locked up.
I don't know if that actually happened already, but
You have
trying to
people
arrest-
like Taimur Rahman You do have anarchists in Pakistan. You have the, what was it? You have anarchists in Pakistan that were, when, you know, Pakistan was flooded, they were doing like ground level aid work. Like, you have, like, they just recently did a translation of ABCs of Anarchism in Pakistan. So they do exist.
Him again. The military hates him. The military is literally fucking. I mean, Pakistan is a CIA client state. I've said this before. You know it to be true. And the Pakistani military basically owns the entire country, and the Pakistani military is owned by the American government. So
that isn't true.
So
that's not true.
The Pakistani military is owned by the American government.
That's not true. It's the relationship between the Pakistani military and the American State Department is a bit more complex than that. My understanding of the situation is that it's not that the Pakistani government or the Pakistani army is owned by the United States. He's right in that they are clients of the U.S. The Pakistani army buys stuff. They buy hardware from the United States because as basically toys. They buy lots of hardware from the United States as toys, basically, because the Pakistani army really just wants to be able to act in Pakistan with impunity, right? So, and the other thing is, the one thing that kind of throws a wrench into, you know, Pakistan is nothing more than a U.S. client state, or is like, you know, the Pakistani army is owned by the U.S., is the recent deportations of Afghan immigrants. Or not Afghan immigrants, like Afghans in Pakistan. That throws a wrench into that idea because it is actually in the U.S.'s best economic interest to have Pakistan like keep those Afghan people in Pakistan. It is within the economic interests of both Pakistan and the United States to have those Afghan refugees still living in Pakistan. It is in the economic interest of both Pakistan and the United States to have those Afghans still living in Pakistan. But Pakistan, the Pakistani government said, nope, those 1.7 million Afghans are going to get deported. So that is a stark contrast against what the United States has prescribed to Pakistan. The United States has literally been giving Pakistan money to house those to house those refugees. So it's not a direct, like, the Pakistani army is owned by the United States in that regard. It's just more that the Pakistani army and the United States State Department align on many issues. But he's oversimplifying that relationship, I would say. So, he's not wrong in the overall sentiment, but he's oversimplifying the relationship.
When you have Pakistani leadership actually, I mean, when, like, they have overthrown every single fucking leader thus far. So
he's right. There's never been a Pakistani leader that has never held. He's right in that. Yeah, he's basically right. Like, there's no Pakistani. Yeah, he's right. There's never been an elected leader in Pakistan that has held office for a full term.
So, I do think that, like, Imran Khan, despite corruption charges, things of that nature, is still not the worst.
Good take. He's right. He's not. Imran Khan is not the worst.
Chinese client state now. I mean, hey. Listen, dude, you're not gonna fucking get me to say bad things about China, okay? Why are you posting Imran Khan W's in the chat by saying that? Like, what are you, fucking crazy? Like, what the fuck?
Okay, he's memeing here. He probably should. I mean, my honest opinion is he probably should be saying more bad shit about China. He probably should be. Like, here's the thing. You're not gonna get me to not shit on China because, again, I have a very good reason to dislike China. I have a very good reason to dislike the PRC. I have a very good reason. absolutely good reason to hate the PRC. You want to know why? Because on that list of states that sold weapons to Sri Lanka,
Fuck. I am Xi Jinping's most loyal soldier, brother. Get the fuck out of here. My man said Imran Khan is
you can really misunderstand Hasan in regards to China when you're not watching him 24/7. No, I know he criticizes China every now and then. I know.
China's puppet.
Dog, I know. He's memeing here. Dude, I know he's memeing here.
Like, I'm going to say that's bad. Top G says jump, I say how
He's
high?
saying that because the popular rhetoric about China in the U.S. is crazy right-wing. Yeah, I know why he's doing it. No, I know why he's doing it. That's why he's memeing here. Because he's catering to an American audience. And the American audience is, like, weirdly xenophobic.
Hey, sir.
Is he being racist? He's not being racist. Relax. He's memeing.
I am the CCP's most loyal subject.
Yeah, he's memeing. Relax. Listen, it's not the kind of meme I would make. It's not the joke that I would make. Like, the reason he's going to be a lot softer on China is because his audience is American. That's the reason Hasan is going to be softer on China. Because Americans are already primed to dislike China. That's the reason. I, on the other hand, have no reason. I have no reason to hold back. Why do MLs have such fire songs? It's unfair. You just haven't listened to good anarchist music. That's the only problem.
China builds highways as soft power. USA starts a coup, not on the same level. We haven't covered the iDubbbz thing yet, but I will.
I'm going to throw a wrench into the whole relationship that Pakistan has with China. Because part of the reason that the Pakistani state has been kidnapping Balochis is because Balochis have also kind of been resisting the deal that Pakistan has made with China with regards to the Gwadar port in their province. And largely speaking, the work that has been happening in the Gwadar port has largely benefited China mostly. It has been at the expense of the local Baloch population. Like it's not to say, like, I will say, like, the relationship that Pakistan has with China is obviously not the kind of relationship that Pakistan has with the U.S. The U.S. relationship with Pakistan is atrocious. The U.S. has literally bombed Pakistan. So there's no comparison there. But China is not a force for good in Pakistan either. China is not a force for good in Pakistan either. Like, part of the reason that Balochis are being kidnapped in Pakistan, most stuff China does in other countries is for China, not for people in those countries. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think people give way too much of a carte blanche. I mean, like, again, I'm going to be highly critical of China more than most other streamers because I have no reason to. Like, I'm not catering to an audience that is already primed to hate China. Right? I'm not catering to an audience that is primed to have xenophobic tendencies. So the audience, my audience, is more capable of having nuanced conversations about exploitation, imperialism, so on and so forth. Whereas Hasan's audience is very Ameribrained. I think Hasan's entire point is about promoting multipolarity. That's not saying that China is an all good force. This is where I disagree with him. I don't think multipolarity is a good thing. I don't think unipolarity is a good thing. I don't think multipolarity is a good thing. I think the idea that there are naturally going to be centers of influence and that's okay. There are going to be more influential countries that are able to bully smaller countries or that are able to do that are able to make deals with smaller countries that are often at the expense of minority populations. I don't think that's a good thing. Ultimately, the goal is to make sure that there are no poles. That's my personal belief. Because ultimately, when you have that, multipolarity is still another way of basically screwing over minority populations. For example, I mean, I say this before, Sri Lanka is a great example of why multipolarity is complete bullshit. Like, I say this all the time. Like, Sri Lanka is a perfect example of why the talking point of multipolarity is complete bullshit. Because every country sold weapons to Sri Lanka. China sold weapons to Sri Lanka. The United States sold weapons to Sri Lanka. The UK literally did bombing raids with the Sri Lankan task force on Tamil civilians. The Czech Republic and Slovakia both sold weapons to Sri Lanka. The EU sold weapons to Sri Lanka. Russia sold weapons to Sri Lanka. Ukraine sold weapons to Sri Lanka. Israel sold weapons to Sri Lanka. Iran sold weapons to Sri Lanka. Everyone sold weapons to Sri Lanka and helped a genocide literally happen. Like, they are all complicit in this genocide, right? So Sri Lanka is a perfect example of why, like, this talking point of multipolarity is complete bullshit. It's not a real salient thing that anyone should be advocating for. It's not. I don't think it is, because states ultimately act in what is their best interest. America is acting in what is the best interest of its capital. All of them all the time, or do they switch throughout the years? No, they've at various points given, like, both China and the United States right now are still selling weapons to Sri Lanka. Both of those countries still are. Both countries are still doing military exercises with Sri Lanka. Like, when it comes to the Tamil genocide, both China and the United States are on the exact same side. There is no difference between the two. It doesn't, like some of the guns, the hardware that has been sold to Sri Lanka that massacred Tamils may be Chinese, but the jets that did the bombings were Israeli. So that's why I'm not a big advocate of this idea of multipolarity. I don't believe in multipolarity. I don't believe that suddenly you give power back to another burgeoning empire and everything is going to be hunky-dory. I don't believe that for a second. Yeah, it was China. It was the jets that were used to bomb the hospitals were Israeli, Kafir jets. Who was on the side of the Tamils? Originally, it was India. Originally, the only major state backing that any militant group, that any rebel militant group in Sri Lanka got was India. And that was because India trained the LTTE in the first place. But after that, yeah, and then after India basically forced the other militant groups to turn their guns on the Tigers, India basically took the side of Sri Lanka. So ever since the IPKF, and especially after the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi, India has squarely stood on the same side as Pakistan and China when it comes to committing a genocide against the Tamils. Do you know Ramaswamy Venkataraman? He was a Tamil Brahmin and supported Sri Lankan crimes and genocide. That doesn't surprise me.
God, I fucking love this song so much.
Yes, and that doesn't surprise me.
Please do the Rock's Chinese impersonation. Fuck no. I would never do that. I would never fall in that trap. Sold out for a few dead billionaires in high-speed rail? Yeah. Wait, what? Yeah. And also relatively even development. I mean, that's pretty good too. And also...
Okay, yeah, that's first of all, I don't know if it's a few dead billionaires. I don't know if they're actually dead. But yeah, no, high-speed rail is a good thing. Like, this is stupid. Like this is not an own of China. Like, this is not an own of China.
significant.
China has wins and losses? No, China is like every state. It sucks. No, China is like every country. It has skeletons in its closet. Right? Like China is like every other country. It has skeletons in its closet. And that's what we should be focusing on. Yeah, it's fine to like be like, "Yo, China has awesome high-speed rail." That's cool. But like nationalism is making a huge resurgence in China. Like what do you mean?
Less imperialist footprint in comparison to the current global hegemonic power? Yes. Sure, their civil liberties are not great, and I don't like that, as a matter of fact. I think it's fucking despicable, and it's
Boom. There it is.
probably China's biggest L. But, you know, as a white monkey, it doesn't actually harm me in any way, so I don't give a fuck. Yeah, go ahead. I love China. Tell me more.
Boom, right there.
Motherfucker said high speed and a few dead billionaires. High speed rail.
Yeah, that's not an own of China. That's not an own of China. Yeah, exactly. This is what I mean. Less is not something to aspire to. No imperialist ambition is something we should strive for. I agree.
And a few dead billionaires. What has the American government given you lately? This. This. That's what the American government
he's right
gives you
about
every
that.
day, and you're like, oh, please, sir, can I have
He's
some
right
more?"
about that. India has W's over the United States. Like, I'll give you an example. India has government hospitals. Yeah, India has free buses for women. Women get free buses. Women get free bus tickets in my home state. Like, actually, there are women-only buses in my state. Yeah, there are L's that India has too, right? Over the United States. True, China only cares about itself. No, but that goes for every country. Every country only cares about whatever its interests happen to be. Like India only cares, like the Indian government only cares about what's good for India. They originally trained the tigers. Like they trained the tigers because they thought Tamil would join India. That's why they trained the tigers in the first place. And then they realize, oh my God, we bungled this really bad. We should have been making friends with the Sri Lankan government so that we can have better trade deals. And so they switched to the side of the Sri Lankan government. That's how every state works. It doesn't matter.
Look at the fourth picture, Hasan. Don't speculate when you can see what they're doing with the Pakistani loans.
Oh my God.
Intergovernmental
Again,
loans
this is not a conversation that Hasan or like his chat can have right now. That's like a different, like, this is what I mean. Like China is doing fucked up shit in Pakistan. That's true. Like they're screwing over Balochis. They are. They're definitely screwing over Baloch workers. That's true. Do they think they thought the LTTE it would be used to integrate Sri Lanka into India? Yeah, that's why they originally trained the LTTE in the first place.
by China state-owned banks are not.
It's a mix of, hey, like they're clients of ours, whatever. Like whatever, man, we'll train them. But there's a belief in the back of the head of the Indian State Department, which is not the same, like in the Indian government, saying that we can probably get Elam to join India. There's probably people probably believe that on some level.
Not made with the same requirements to generate profit. Yeah, we already covered this. I talked about this before from bidet marksman, but also from like, I mean, Chinese loans are so goated in comparison to the IMF and World Bank that like even fucking IMF, World Bank supporters are forced to admit that it's better. And they do regularly. If you read anything about,
Yeah, but then the nuance to this is that they're using Chinese workers to get to do the work in Gwadar, rather than the local Balochi workers. So the profits don't stay in Pakistan; they go back to China.
Chinese initiatives. Chinese international initiatives.
Like like CPEC is like not like a
planning to pour into Pakistan is more than twice the amount of all foreign direct investment Pakistan has received.
Yeah, like again, the reason he's not going to be as hard on China as I am is because his audience is largely American and they're primed to hate China due to Western media. That's the reason, right? Whereas you guys know better. You guys know better. You guys understand, like, you guys know better than that because you're not like baby leftists for the most part. You guys are not like baby leftists.
In 2008, and considerably more than the entire assistance from the United States, Pakistan's largest donor until now since 2002, according to a BBC report. According to The Guardian, U.S. largesse.
Hasan's chat loves China. No, you guys are misunderstanding what's going on. No, you're misunderstanding what's going on. Hasan is saying this in a particular way because his chat is primed to be xenophobic. Because his chat is majority American, or they're majority European, or they're majority Western, basically. And so they are exposed to MSNBC, CNN, and what is it, Fox, which always frames China in a negative light because those are effectively the unofficial mouthpieces of the U.S. government. So what he's doing is the American default is disliking China, so he's overcompensating. Which, I'm personally not a fan of it either. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I understand why he does it. Yeah, this is exactly it. Like, a good number of Hasan's chat are former hogs and conservatives. Now, there are leftists that get exposed to stuff like this and they realize, listen, China is not the boogeyman that the Western outlets have made it out to be. But then they swing in the opposite direction and they start, like, believing everything China says. They start taking China's position on everything.
Including payments of $1.5 billion a year since under the so-called Kerry-Lugar Act, has failed to elicit anything like such a warm relationship, even though much of the...
I always took Topsy as a joke. No, the reason Booby Buster, Topsy is banned in this chat, for the record, just so you know. The reason Topsy is banned in this chat is because, unfortunately, you do have a lot of doofuses that come into this chat that... Let me put it this way. Okay, I've talked about the border dispute between India and China in Arunachal Pradesh. And I've talked about how it's basically the Chinese government that is basically saber-rattling against India. I've talked about, like, how it's basically the Chinese government that is basically saber-rattling against India. And this could basically be much more easily solved if China stands down. But I've had people come in here literally saying, why can't China solve that problem? Like, unironically, as though, like, I've had idiots come in here literally saying, like, why can't she solve X problem? Why can't she solve this problem? Why can't she solve Y problem? Right? As though, like, Xi Jinping is like a panacea for every issue. Like, no, the border dispute is largely due. It's largely due to the Chinese government saber-rattling against the Indian government. Again, neither government actually cares about the people in Arunachal Pradesh. Neither government cares. But there is a needless saber-rattling happening. Yeah, people who unironically use the Top Shi meme are the people who, like, read the Bin Laden. Like, yes, that's a perfect analogy for that, right? People who come in here and ask unironically why, like Xi Jinping can't solve every problem. They're the same type of dumbass that reads the Bin Laden letter and is like, that literally said "pop off king" to Bin Laden. Like, they're the same kind of dumbass. Like, they don't really have any understanding of geopolitics. They don't have any real nuanced understanding of what is going on in the global south. They don't really understand it. and they're just like whatever, I guess this is cool now. It's hip, and it's like it's it's the new thing, whatever, right?
Funneled to the Pakistani army. I wonder why it didn't give. I wonder why I said what I said about the Pakistan military being so.
We're not
important.
Keemstar, guys. We're not trying to stir drama. Like, I have Hasan on my screen because I like him. At best, it's like constructive criticism. I'm not trying to get Hasan on anything.
Corrupt as everybody else, but also